Okay, folks, and a very, very good, well, basically good afternoon to you all. Yeah, today this is just going to be a run through. Oh, so I put the questions. Oh, okay, never mind then. Yeah, today is just going to be a run through, obviously, of the MRT, because today has obviously been a bit interesting. This will form pretty much a base layer, obviously, next time when we run a lot of events and such. But yeah, for you guys, obviously, who are wondering, obviously, back at home, obviously, or watching from afar, this is what will be happening, obviously, as we go through, obviously, the course of the day. Chat messages will obviously be on at all times during, obviously, events and such. However, because, obviously, of limitations, obviously, on my laptop, it does look as if we are going to be only streaming certain things. There might not be Discord voice calls, but obviously we'll get round to that when we get round to it. I know some people are obviously asking when the next train sim will be. I did say I was going to do one this Thursday coming. Well, it is very likely it will happen because at this point in time, we've kind of got a family emergency at the moment, obviously, here at Tempting TV. So there is pretty much a big problem at the moment. So we have got a family emergency to deal with at the moment. So anyone obviously hoping for obviously a stream on Thursday, well, I will say this now, it probably most likely definitely will happen because obviously other members of the family are dealing with the incidents and such. So, you know, dealing with the emergency and such. So there won't be an issue. It will just be, you know, depending on. So yeah, as you guys can probably tell on the left, there is no report button, obviously, on the Minecart Rapid Transit server. And the reasons for this is mainly because if a guest came on and decided, oh, I'm going to try and get you reported for saying something, you know, like a bad word or something, you know, at a point we probably would then just, you know, probably a lot of the people obviously on the server, because it's only a small community server, it's not like there's much really, you know, if you had a loss of players, the server would just shut down. So it's almost, in effect, it is actually better that obviously it continues as it is. Now, something I do want to test out actually on here, and I don't know whether it's going to be possible obviously on here. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, obviously, what's going to be happening here. So at the moment, as you can see, look, we've got a test card, obviously, on here now. The test card will only be in use, obviously, if the GSM, for instance, like if there was an internet problem or something like that, or if we were having issues with the internet, obviously, connecting wise, then obviously then we display the test card. I have got to build an up-to-date test card, so you might probably see a train spotting photo that I've took obviously recently, or you might see something else, you know. But yeah, we've also got the this as well. This is the general staff meeting text box, and as you can see below that will be obviously like Premier City reviews, and as I go up the list, you can then also see Section 2 obviously being like redacted topics, Section 3 being like conductor apps, like applications. Now with this one, moderated candidates is something that we hadn't actually seen for a while, obviously. When I've been involved in staff meetings before, there has not been a proper, there's not been much really happening, so I don't know whether there's going to be something to do with that. At the moment, the memory that I've got at the moment, so I can only use, I think, like 14 gig or 15 gig of memory out of the 16 gig I've got in the laptop itself. What's going to happen is Minecraft might have to run only like 2 gig or 2.5 gig because I think the stream does take up quite a lot, and Discord does take up an awful lot of the streaming thing, unless I do it actually on like the web-based one on the app, but you know what I mean. So in effect, I mean, it will obviously, you know, again, with you guys, it will be in effect, obviously, it will, you know, we've got like other things, we've got like other proposals, Q&A session, I mean, obviously, after that, you know, you got like all the different ones, so you got obviously, you know, community issues number 1, community issues number 2, community issues number 3, I've got to line them up properly, but, you know, but you get the point, basically, you know, section, you know, MRT lines and MRT lines, so, you know, in effect, it will work in accordance to a lot of it. One thing I have got to do actually is I've got to remove one of these things. Yeah, there we go. There was YouTube on there as well. YouTube I was going to use for like the yeah, I can't remember what it was now, but it was something. Anyway, back to the obviously server. Yeah, so you guys can obviously see on there. Obviously, that's how it's going to work. In effect, on certain things, I've got to do a bit. Probably today, I've got to do a test to make sure it's definitely going to obviously work, because when I have done a stream before, like a Minecraft stream, it would complain that it was out of memory. So I've got to do a test today. I mean, I'll adjust some things a little bit later. It might obviously look a bit slower to you guys on there, but that's because I've got it set to 130 FPS, so I can quickly catch up to the camera. But I will up that to 60 FPS if I can get everything working properly, if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, in relation to a lot of the server stuff, I do have my own server, but I don't really want to unveil it to the public yet, because there's not really a lot on it, and plus, a lot of my schematics that I use, obviously on like the MRT, it do usually come from that server. A lot of the schematics that I have got are all on there now, so it's not like it's a huge issue. I would like to give you guys a bit of a tour of Hendon, but there's not really going to be an awful lot. I don't know what this is about. Hang on. Oh, okay. I didn't know how dark that was going to be, but okay. But yeah. So this is the Pride Wall. For those obviously from the LGBTQIA plus. I can't remember what. Yeah, I can't remember every single thing. Sorry, guys. Obviously, I do apologise. But yeah, we've got a Pride Wall in Hendon. We've got a there's another Pride Wall I've seen apparently in Kitty Cat 11321's like town as well of Nippia. Nippia's also got a Pride Wall as well. Kitty Cat 11321, by the way, runs MBS News. Basically, sorry, the YouTube channel called MBS. Which basically does do like Minecraft news events and such. So realistically, obviously, before I started streaming Minecraft, obviously on here, Kitty used to do a lot of it. Because Kitty actually did have more of an involvement, obviously, with the MRT in like the early days. So obviously for me, I'm only starting out now because obviously there's not really a lot else I can do. So if you guys did also see, I did record. Well, I didn't record it. I actually streamed, I think, a 4-hour chess tournament, which was hosted by It's Not Jasper. I don't know if Jasper's going to do another one in the future. One thing I definitely won't be doing is I definitely probably won't be doing golf and streaming that again unless it is necessary. But that's why, this is why we do these test streams, guys, because we need to see what works and what doesn't. And also, I don't know if many people are obviously noticing, but my voice has been a bit rubbish recently. Sorry about that, I was just been having a bit of a drink. Probably sometimes I have to have a drink, sometimes now I have to have a drink more often than I should really, guys, because my throat is actually getting increasingly worse as we go through a lot of things. The only reason why we do these tests is it's basically just to test the ability of the stream. So far everything's all in the green, so I do have a feeling I reckon it's Discord that probably killed the last stream. And they can have a word edit. Yes, you can have a word edit, sorry. Oh, it's MRT stations. Okay, I don't know yet. P1, got P1. Okay, it's not too bad. Right, okay. Send this out, okay. But yeah, so as you guys can probably tell on here, this is kind of why we have to obviously do a lot of the streams and that, because obviously with me, this is, I'm a conductor on the server, so literally I have access to world edit, so I can actually do world edits on here for people. As like a community, as a small community server, I can, which building? Sorry, I'm only chatting to Tar in game. I'm not really chatting via the Discord. So obviously, the two buildings. Oh, okay. No clue what that is. I'm going to say this actually. This does look really it's quite detailed already. I'll tell you that actually. These buildings I think are in Tar's town. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This is quite detailed actually. So I think realistically, I think this is pretty much already Senator. So I think yeah. Didn't know whether that changed colour or not. Yeah. This is pretty much send. I suppose my main concern really, obviously, with these streams actually is mostly if it went to a certain level, like 500 whatever it is, kilobytes or whatever, then it becomes a bit of a problem because then I can't really stream a lot. So usually, if it starts turning into red, then that's when I've got a problem. But yeah, so what's going to happen is also as well is the test stream actually at the moment, as you guys can obviously see by me chatting obviously on the game, I will probably make this into like a football show at some point on the actual server, like just record it and then upload it, because there's no point in me trying to, like, I'm not going to probably upload it every week, but I might probably get some footage obviously from like different games obviously that I go to obviously in around obviously the southeast. Yes, which does bring me on to my next topic. So as many of you guys obviously do know, I have not been on holiday for the last 2 years. Okay, so this summer will technically be 2 years since I last went on holiday. I will admit it now. Okay, that this summer there will be streams happening, whether I am on holiday or not. Because what will happen is obviously during July and August is there'll probably be a lot more people online, and because of the standard obviously of stuff that I do at the moment, like golf and pub quizzes and such. Pub quizzes will be coming back probably pretty soon. I'm not saying when, but it'll be back once I do get some things sorted out. And sorry, I'm just trying to do a minute at the moment. Sorry. One game I'm probably not going to be able to stream is probably going to be Euro Truck Sim or probably City Skylines. Both of those do take up a lot of RAM, which is obviously a pain, but again, that's just the way it is. But realistically, I do enjoy playing the game, so it's not like it's a huge, decrease or anything like that. So, just it's anyway, as I say, just so you guys know, if I do decide to do like a lot of football stuff, then I'll do football stuff obviously on here, and then like a football show of some sort, or even a podcast. Now, I did look into maybe doing a podcast a while back, about like different things, but it never really amounted to anything. So it's kind of, yeah, my life's a little bit at the moment, a bit on thin ice, because I can only really do certain things because I'm not that mentally, how do I say this? I'm not mentally capable of doing a lot of things. So on this just joined, but yeah, but it's going to be an interesting feel, I think, to the situation. But if I do run a stream of something, or even record like football results, obviously, or obviously coming in, football results at the end of each game, and obviously talking about who's, tables and such. But when you think about it, okay, I'm probably not going to do it every week. I'll probably do it like on a monthly basis. I'll just put up a bunch of results, obviously from like the last week, last 2 weeks, but tables I'll probably do every month. I'm probably not going to do results service, like a proper results thing, but the only reason for that is only because I can't pronounce half the names in England, so I've got to try and get on with trying to do some pronunciations properly. Once I do get around to doing pronunciations, pronunciations, sorry, then I will probably do a results service of some sort, but it will be, it'll be different to see what, see what we can do. But yeah, this is just a, this is basically just a short stream, because the problem we've got at the moment is that the reason I'm doing the stream at the moment is just to test to see whether it will actually work, obviously by itself. I might get Discord loaded up in a minute and then see if it will play anything or whatnot, but yeah, so, but I'm probably not going to get Discord up on the thing. I'm probably going to just, yeah, you know, it's just, well, you know, I mean, we've got to see what happens, but in a realistic sense, I think this is going to be the point where I think, you know, we're going to have to see what comes around, what goes around. You know, what do we do? Almost. So, but with a lot of things, I have got to see whether Discord is definitely going to load up. Now, one thing I am going to do very, very quickly is search for Task Manager, because I've got to see whether it's actually going to, how much RAM is it using already? You know what? That's not a lot. I thought it was going to be more, but no, it's actually using less. I think the most does seem to be Minecraft, so I think Minecraft's probably the big problem. Right. To be fair, we're at only like 9.7, 9.8 at the moment, so it's not actually too bad. Out of, you know, it's at 63, 64% memory at the moment. CPU is a bit high, it's like 7% ish, but it's actually working rather well, despite. Yeah, so it's not too bad. I mean, I must admit, it's not that bad, but, you know, again, we can only use 15.4 gig before it then crashes. I'm going to get Google Chrome open. I don't know how much gig that's going to be, but I reckon that's going to be quite a fair bit. And then we're going to Task Manager again, sorry. Now, what did it say? Now, here's the thing, right, because with Task Manager, it does tell me what's going on and all that. So we're up to 10.2 gig. So it's like 0.5 of a gig or whatever it is. It's just been going. Now, if I go into discord.com, 10.4. So realistically, oh yeah, I want to open Discord in your browser. Discord login. Yes, let me get in. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. I've just got to try and log in because it seems that. Because the problem I've got is, oh yes, got an authentication code. Sorry. Because if I can do it on the desktop rather than on the what's the name, on the actual app, it might not be too bad. So I'm just testing to see if everything's actually going to work fine. Because here's the thing: if it works absolutely perfect, then I think this is the way we're going to be doing streams from now on. Where's the Google authentication? You know, I really hate doing this. This really does wind me up a bit. Apparently it's invalid. Okay, hang on. Okay, got it. Right, okay. But, yeah, so, as you guys are probably aware, yeah, Discord, as much as I'm going to say this, yeah, Discord does seem to have a huge thing on here. I mean, it looks like at the moment, it says 10.4 gig, going down to 10.3, 10.4. So, we're only really using 70, probably about 70% of the thing, and actually, it does seem to make a lot of difference. It seems like we have got like nearly 3, probably 4 gig probably left over. So I do wonder whether this is something we need to consider in future. I don't know whether it is definitely going to run out of memory. No, it's going back down again. So it looks like it is something to do with the Discord app. Discord, if you're watching this, please make your application a bit less memory up, you know, taking up. So, you know, what's this? Oh, okay. Yes. London Bridge Pigeon. Yes, that's something I've actually got to try and download to my laptop, actually. It's something I've got to try and get on here. I've got a bunch of train spotting photos, something I probably will upload at some point later on. But, you know, not right now, but... so what's going to happen then if I enter a voice chat? Will it... Yes, allow use of the microphone. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, so it looks as if everything seems to be fine. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? This tab is using your camera and microphone. I don't want it to use my camera because there's no point having it. I ain't even got a camera icon thing on, so I don't know why it's yeah. But yeah, so it does seem. You know what? It does seem to work. So in a realistic aspect, yeah, it definitely does seem to work. So yeah, this might actually be the start of something. I'm just checking to see what's gone on with the voice and video thing. Yeah, it says voice activity, so it is definitely right. It's 10.5, percent, gig of the memory. So actually, we know what we could probably do this quite easily. Then we can just use the Discord online browser to do a lot of the stuff. So what's this? Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know whether it's going to say obviously that I'm streaming because I'm not actually. I'll be honest, I am streaming, but I'm not actually like streaming properly. Um, yeah, yeah, she's probably not going to let me. Yeah, I don't know. What I will say is obviously it's going to be. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to come out of that now. Because there's not really any point in me being in voice call because no one else is in the voice call. So yeah, so the memory does drop quite a fair bit. So it does look as if this does seem to be the Discord app problem. So we can actually adapt quite well. We can have all sorts of things open, and it doesn't actually kill the laptop. So yeah, so there is definitely going to be a definite improvement, obviously going forward, guys. So it does look like we are going to be definitely going to be doing streams of some sort, but this time probably using the web-based Discord rather than the Discord app on the laptop. So, but yeah, I haven't seen anyone else obviously commenting on here yet. Live chat, yes, I want to know what the hell has been going on. Like, no one's joined the live chat, okay. But yeah, the current situation at the moment is that I can't really stream everything. But you guys already know this already. I mean, you know, it it's not really going to be something I'm going to do like regularly. All I'm going to say is obviously not everything is going to be on live. But yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm really tired today, guys. So yeah. So at the moment, yeah, we've kind of we've got obviously an issue. Obviously at the moment we've got family emergency stuff going on. So obviously this is why streaming's been a bit of a pain obviously in the last few weeks. This is kind of why we haven't really um what's this? It does and then what's this? Okay, so someone's just put on my channel slicing feels like theirs. What do you mean by slicing? I don't really know what you mean by that. I'm watching the chat, by the way, on my phone, because the chat, when I look on the OBS software, is kind of, yeah, it's not really that great. I can't really see much of the chat, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by slicing. Is that something to do with the video slicing, or is it just something to do with the, I don't know. I presume probably something to do with video slicing, but I don't know. But yeah, so I hate to say this to you guys, but yeah, it's gonna be. I'm just gonna send that off. to the chat. Sorry. But yeah, it seems like slicing. I mean, I'm wondering what slicing, what they mean by slicing. I don't know. But yeah, what is going to happen here is that once the streaming is a bit more stable, as it has been obviously for the last pretty much an hour, pretty much like the last 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, it's been going for nearly half an hour. I mean, what I'm hoping to do is once the stream has actually built up to a certain level, I'll be able to actually stream probably a little bit better on pretty much on some of the servers. I did actually, I forgot to mention this earlier. I've been on Twitter recently, and I apparently have found apparently that Mineplex, the Mineplex server apparently is shut down, forever. The admins apparently have put a message out on the Discord server. They did put the message out. I think it was like last night or something. Let me just have a look. Sorry. But yeah, Mineplex is basically it's died. Basically, the owner apparently of the server apparently didn't want to keep it up any longer. I don't know what the hell's happened, but it does sound as if there's obviously been a huge problem. Lag spike coming up. Let's see what it does when I do lag spikes. Okay, it doesn't do anything when the lag spike happens. Okay, no, that's good because the problem is if whenever I think when I last did the live, it kind of killed it off really. So, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. There has been a few problems with Mineplex. I've got to try and find it. Sorry, where is it? Sorry. Yeah, Rodolfo, I don't know what you mean by slicing feels like there's what, because I don't know what you mean by that. Sorry. Is it to do with like video slicing or something? Because if that's the case, then I can't really do video slicing as this is just like a stream or something. Um, this is just a normal stream, so I'm just trying to see why there's no, I'm keeping an eye on it. Sorry. Bristol Hot Springs. It sounds like some sort of like new spa place or something. I do kind of wonder actually about that, but again, it's just me. But yeah, next season, actually, I forgot to mention this. For those obviously who are football fans who do follow me on here, um, what is going to happen, is that from 20 from like the 2023-24 season, Thameslink TV, yes, I have got a camcorder by the way. I'm going to be going out and getting some like footage of certain games. Obviously, I'm going to have to obviously ask clubs, obviously, for permission. But what's going to happen is I'll be able to go around in the Southern Counties East Football League and do some filming at certain games. So obviously, I've got to see obviously what permissions I need, and whether clubs are going to allow it. If so, then expect some new content, like football content, to come out. Because as we go towards the new season, pre-season fixtures will be coming out. So what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping with obviously maybe one of my friends or a couple of my friends, we're going to go and watch some more games, and we'll give like our views and like goal reactions and stuff from our end here at Thameslink TV. So there will be new things coming out, but one thing I will note, right, we are not going to be interested in the Premier League. We're not going to be doing Championship or League One or League Two. The National League we might cover a little bit on during our non-league football show that we'll probably be doing here on Thameslink TV soon. Um, but most of the time we're going to be mostly focusing on like leagues, like the National League South, maybe even National League North, Northern Premier, Southern Central, Southern South, Isthmian, Premier. So what you guys are going to obviously see is obviously there's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff that we're going to be throwing up obviously on our platform here, and obviously we're still going to do train sim videos. Train simulator streams are not going to stop. Train sim streams I've found in the past actually have been the most popular type of videos on here. So I've actually found them to be more enjoyable than just doing like other things. So train sim videos will continue. So that won't be stopping anytime soon. So for those guys obviously who are wondering, oh, well, you're not going to be continuing them anymore, there's your answer. I am still going to be continuing them, obviously, hopefully without any issues relating to any of the trains and that. And also there'll be some more train packs. There might be some summer packs coming out. So, you know. Anyway, I have found the tweet from the server, from the Mineplex server now. Now, obviously, I'm on the MRT at the moment, but pretty much this is basically from the what's his name? From Mineplex on their Discord server. It's on Twitter. If you guys want to have a look, go and have a look on Twitter because it's all over the show on Twitter. Just type in Mineplex on the search thing. Yeah, apparently the Discord owner apparently have said, hello all, as you're all aware, all the servers and the website has been down for a couple of days now. Unfortunately, I have been given the burden to inform you that this will be forever. I shouldn't need to be the one to tell you all this. I shouldn't have to, but in the end, you all deserve to know that it's over, and I suppose I'll need to be the one to do it. I wish there was more to say. I wish things have gone differently, and I wish that we would have had time to say a proper goodbye to it, give it a proper send off. I'm sorry that it went the way it did. You guys are passionate about this server, and it has always inspired me to want to do better, even if I didn't have the opportunity to do so. I'll end this off by saying that I'll be giving the MPD, that's probably the Mineplex Discord server. Discord server, by the way, is apparently still staying online. It's just the Minecraft server itself apparently gone. To whoever it is, I think it's Toki, yeah, Toki, who will turn it into some sort of memorial, at least for the time being. I would like to ask that you don't give her, the other admin, the staff team, or me any sort of abuse, because a lot of server owners do seem to get a lot of abuse, even staff teams get a lot of abuse now, both in chats and in DMs. We've worked for this company, we didn't own it, and we didn't make the decisions that led us here. Thank you guys so much for the wonderful years. I wish you all the best of luck in the future with whatever you end up doing, and come say hi once in a while. So that's on the Mineplex server, on their Discord and also on Twitter, because Twitter's gone absolutely mad. Twitter actually has gone mad this afternoon, pretty much this morning. It all came about last night. My thoughts and all that. I did used to play on Mineplex as a child. I did used to play on there as a kid, quite a lot to be honest. I got quite. I got mostly involved in it. Mostly, basically when I first started playing Minecraft. All right, guys. What's his name? Stampy. Yeah, Stampy Longnose. Dan TDM. I think I Ballistic Squid as well. They all used to play on Mineplex at one point or at some point in their lives. I mean, I only joined Mineplex at a time when I think it was April Fools. There was an April Fool's video, I think, from like the Diamond Minecart, Dan TDM, and he, like, I think the villagers took over the world or something. That was like one of the best videos I've seen, and like that did kind of inspire me to join the server because I thought actually this does look quite fun, and also because from me, because I was only doing single player Minecraft at the time, I didn't have any multiplayer servers, so when I first bought the game in 2013, it kind of did inspire me a little bit to actually think, actually, I could do more here, I could do this, I could do that. And in the end, I actually then thought to myself, yeah, but yeah, fun. But yeah, but basically, because I was only playing on single player, had I still stayed on single player, right, um, I'm going to say this now. This channel would probably be a whole lot different. And to be fair, I probably wouldn't have played Minecraft much. Had it just been all single player and I didn't have any servers to go to or whatever, to be honest, my Minecraft legacy probably would have been dead probably a few years ago. One thing I do want to tell you guys actually, Mineplex was actually the first server I actually first started on. When I first started playing multiplayer, Mineplex was actually the only server I actually played on for quite a while. I didn't join when was it Party Zone, because now I don't want to go on too much about Party Zone because we all know what the story behind that is. It's dreadful, and to be honest, it's kind of bullshit a little bit. But you know what I mean. But I'm not going to explain too much about that. But after that, it then went obviously went to Party Zone, and then well, it was called MCPZ obviously at that time, but they called it Party Zone obviously originally. But yeah, I mean after that, I started building up a couple of other servers. So I did have Hypixel, I think, on my server list for like a while, but that's only because I only joined it occasionally. Hypixel does get quite a lot of lag. It does seem to be quite laggy on there, so I don't tend to go on there anymore, sadly. But the Hive, I did used to play on like the Hive until I believe it was like last year. I think it was last year or 2021, when the Java, I think it's like the Java edition server then closed down. Um, and obviously at that time it was quite, I think I did do a final video on that. If you guys, I think, look in the channel, in my channel, at the videos, I did do a video on like the farewell, obviously, to the Hive's Java server because obviously I think it was like in its last day or last week. It was in its last few days of operation, so I was on there pretty much getting a recording of it because it was the last time I'm probably ever going to see it. So, but yeah, the Hive's now only available on Bedrock, so I don't have Bedrock Edition, and to be fair, I probably won't have Bedrock Edition probably ever. But that's only because I don't I think it's worth saying this now. I mean, I've got my own server to obviously focus on. I've got obviously Minecart Rapid Transit MRT obviously on here to focus on. This is mostly my home now. This is basically where I mostly stay now and do a lot of videos and building and all that. Um, but realistically, I mean, other than that, and another server, I think it's also a private server, like a private family one, whatever it is. Other than those three, realistically, if any of these servers do die at any point or like shut down or something, I probably won't be playing Minecraft much more because to be fair, I'll probably, I'm going to stay on Minecraft for pretty much as long as possible, but as soon as we get to pretty much a tipping point where there isn't going to be much obviously to do, or if a server that I regularly play on shuts down or something, then we're at a point then where I probably won't be doing much Minecraft videos. I'll still do occasional Minecraft videos, but I probably wouldn't do an awful lot. To be fair, because there's not really an awful lot really to explain or play. The other problem as well is also single player can get quite boring sometimes. Sometimes when I have played in single player, it has been a bit difficult for me to actually play on there without having like mods and like plugins and such. So it does get quite boring. If it's just vanilla Minecraft, it does get quite boring after a while. Um, but all I'm going to say to you guys is we all know what happened with the Party Zone like thing. Obviously, I got banned obviously in 20. I think it's 2019 or 2020, one of those 2 years or whatever. It was during the pandemic. I'll tell you that. And what happened really was obviously with that is I've not been unbanned since. And to be fair, I don't really care. I mean, to be honest, they can leave me unbanned if they really, can leave me banned if they want. I don't really care anymore. So, it's just, I think in the end they just banned me for all sorts of weird shit reasons. And the problem, I think it was because they only wanted to keep a select few players that they know you know, will be very nice and will give in to everything they say. If you know what I mean. So in the end, Party Zone did become almost like a dictatorship, pretty much. So in the end, I kind of just started to distance myself from the server really, because it's almost as if, well, thanks a lot, you've not really done anything. You're not really, being helpful. You're not, you know what I mean. So in the end, it's actually got to a point really where the main service I did have, like the Hive, Hypixel, obviously Minecart Rapid Transit, obviously MRT on here. and my own server. I mean, to be fair, there were I think the 4 servers I did have really on my server list that I could still play. But in the end, I do think it's probably the last, obviously, of a lot. When you think about it, the MRT is probably the last stronghold that's pretty much a lot of me on Minecraft. Really, this is the last full stronghold really for me to be playing. And what will happen is obviously give it another couple of years from now. I mean, if you say 2025, 2026, I don't know if the MRT is still going to be here by then, but when you think about it, if it's still here by then, I'll probably still be playing. I'll still be playing Minecraft and all that. But you know, I mean, I'll tell you this now, guys. I'm pretty much an adult, so realistically, an adult like me really obviously don't really play Minecraft. Minecraft's supposed to be like a kids game, but to be fair, I've seen a lot of adults, even on this server, unlike the MRT. It does seem to be more adults than kids. It does seem to be the fact that adults do tend to go here and they build like architectural stuff and cities and transport and that. And to be fair, we all speak like adults, like mature adults and that. So it's not as if it's not like there's no community left really. It is a very strong community, despite obviously a lot that has been going on. But if you go on somewhere like Hypixel or something, it tends to be mostly like kids, like 7-year-old, 8-year-old kids, who just keep going around screaming, "Oh, can I get up?" and "Oh, can I have this item? Can I have all the special items? Can I get a rank?" and and all that. And it's those sort of people that do kind of put me off going onto the server. I mean, I get really put off going to the server if it's just going to be mostly just like, oh, these are the strict rules. We've got kids on the server and all that. Now, I can kind of get, if children on servers are not a problem. It's just when it does become a problem, though, when a lot of the games and a lot of stuff is mostly pretty much focused on the kids. Whereas obviously something like it, because it's a free build creative server, obviously like the MRT, it's a bit different because a lot of us do speak more maturely and a lot more, we can have more like mature conversations and such. So it's a bit more relaxed. Yeah, basically the MLT is a bit more of a backbone. It's more like, yes, you can talk about these sort of things. Obviously, just give clear discretion. Obviously, that there are people obviously on the server that might not want to talk about it. So, we do talk an awful lot about different like topics and that, and transport projects and infrastructure projects and all that. So it is quite a close knit community, and small communities like this actually do tend to fare better. They seem to actually survive quite well. And actually, they, down the line, yeah, they might obviously have problems obviously with getting player numbers in, but actually, in reality, player numbers do tend to actually keep pretty much at a steady pace, like a steady level. And as long as it's got a steady level, and a lot of servers, like small servers like this, as long as it's at a steady level, it's not a problem. So it's never really been a problem, obviously, for me, but it's never, small communities like this are better. This is what I say, guys, right, about non-league clubs. I mean, I support a non-league club myself. I don't support, like, a Premier League club or, Championship or league, like a Football League club. I support a non-league club, and to be honest, the club itself actually is more laid back. Like, they actually care about the fans. And really, that's what matters to me. Really, is the treatment of the fans. We actually get treated better than the Premier League ones and all that. So, in theory, I actually get treated a lot better, and treated more respectfully as well because we actually contribute to the fan base. We contribute to the money, the overall running of the club. So, but it is, this is kind of why, right? I hate to say, don't. I know a lot of people, obviously, who are my friends, they all support, right? And I'll say this now, they all support Premier League club. I'm nearly pretty much the odd one out. And the only reason why I'm the odd one out, okay, is because, I've looked, I do watch some Premier League, I'll be honest, all right? I'll admit it, okay? I do watch some Premier League games, but I don't watch a lot. Like, Premier League, I find the Premier League to be really, really boring. Like, it's not very exciting. I prefer, like, non-league because the thing is in non-league you're actually playing for promotion, you're actually playing for something like a long-term trophy, whereas in the Premier League if you support someone like Man City or something like that you're just going to win every single season and it's boring. Like what's better is when you see, like a non-league team or something like that, or even a lower league team like League Two or League One, you're actually playing for an actual proper trophy rather than just the same boring team that always wins pretty much every time. That's what's more interesting. That's what the passion of the club is. That's what passion of football is. And what does annoy me is you get people that then say, "Oh, I'm a fan of Man United," or "I'm a fan of Arsenal," or "I support Spurs." Now I know Spurs haven't won a trophy for a while. I'll admit that, but again, what I mean. It's more of a, "Oh, I support Chelsea" or something like that. Well, Chelsea at the moment are 12, so it's not. I think what annoys me is that they seem to get too much airtime. These Premier League clubs, they seem to get too much airtime. So for me to actually take a difficult, this is why, right, from like 2023, 24, this is kind of why I'm looking more at like because the thing with Thames TV is right, we cover more of like the southeast of England. We don't cover like a lot of the like most places obviously around the UK. We mostly focus on southeast of England, pretty much being the most effective. And the reason why is because if you look in the southeast at the moment, right, there is an awful lot of teams. All right, so for example, if you're looking non-league, okay, at the moment you've got Bromley, you've got teams that are in the National League South. I mean, at the moment, you've got Bromley, you've got Ebbsfleet, who are now obviously got promoted to the National League from National South last season. If you look in the National, South itself, you've got Dartford, you've got pretty much Maidstone, you've got Dover, you've got, I mean, you keep going down, even Welling as well. If you go down the list of it, right, you get more teams that are then more closer together. And obviously in the National League, right, because in the National League now, technically, right, there's only one Kent team left, and that's Ebbsfleet. And realistically, right, you could say that Bromley could also count as a Kent team, but it's not. So the thing is, most of the time, we focus really from next season onwards. This is why we're going to be putting our focus on like the southeast of England teams, because the only team that's in the southeast that technically is in the football league, you probably say it's in League Two, and that's only Gillingham, and Gillingham are really not really doing that great at the moment. So, there's not a lot of teams in the southeast that are actually good enough, I think, to be in the football league. So, the only other one that has come close to that has been Bromley. It has been Bromley, or in the past, Maidstone and Ebbsfleet and all that, and Dover. So it's very they've all come close to getting into the football league, but they've lost in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So it just what I'm trying to say to you guys is go and support your non-league club. Forget a lot of these yeah. If you want to still go and support a Premier League club, go for it. But make sure you support your non-league club as well. Because the thing is, if you go to a local non-league club, you might meet with friends that you probably haven't heard for a long time, or you might meet with friends who, you know, who actually enjoy football. They also enjoy like Premier League, their own Premier League club, but they prefer non-league because of the style of football. And the benefit actually of non-league football, and this is what I've found recently, if you look at the non-league, like in the non-league, pyramid, right? There's no VAR, so everything really is solely down to the linesman, the ball official, and the referee, and that's what football is mostly supposed to be about. The problem with VAR is it only benefits all the big teams like Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. You know, whereas if you go further down the pyramid, it's better because you get more of a variety of football. And I know at the moment, Great Britain at the moment, right, are in a cost of living crisis. Non-league clubs, okay, actually charge less per ticket. So, like, for instance, right, I go to some clubs, right. Okay, so this is in the like the Southern Counties East League, obviously at the moment, which is obviously which I've been mostly focusing on. You could go to a club, right, that's in that division, and the entrance fee is only like £5, like a fiver, and you can get in. I mean, I've seen season tickets for like what 80 quid, 90 quid, and that covers like a whole season. And it includes like discounted cup game entries and trophy games. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is don't fair enough having a Premier League club obviously that you support, but don't devote your life to the Premier League club. Why not come back down to a non-league club where you're getting for cheaper, for a cheaper price, and you also, you get more of a variety and more out your match day, and you get a proper like burger as well. I mean, if you look on the what was it, the Footy Scran Twitter, yeah, Footy Scran Twitter page, like there's loads of non-league foods on there, like tons, and like the food is actually a lot more better at that level, like a non-league level. And this is why I support non-league clubs, because it is better. It's much better quality of play, and it's much better quality, obviously, of food as well. So, basically, right, okay, I'll say this now. Once the season starts, right, guys, go to your non-league club. Forget the Premier League. Go and support your non-league club, because in the end, you might not be allowed to go anywhere near a Premier League club. You might not even be allowed in. Just bear that in mind, all right? Because if you go to a non-league club, you'll still be able to see Premier League clubs or whatever it is anyway, because they'll always be on TV, like on telly or something like that anyway. You're better off going to your non-league club, record the match that you want, obviously like Premier League match or whatever you want to watch, right? But then save it for later, like watch it later on. Don't watch it in real time. Go and and to be fair, non-league kickoffs, right, are always traditionally 3 o'clock kickoff, not like 2 p.m., not like like 12:30 or 5:30 or whatnot. Don't don't get really bottled, bottled down. Get something a bit more interesting. But anyway, sorry, I'm just going on a bit really, guys. So what I'm going to say to you guys now is that with non-league clubs, it is a lot better. So anyway, but yeah, Mineplex has died. Mineplex has now completely died altogether. So I don't know where the player base, obviously, from that server is going to go. But all I'm going to say is that, yeah, am surprised actually it's gone, because I thought it was quite popular, but I guess it probably wasn't. But anyway, right, I'm going to come off the stream now, guys. I know I'm AFK, but it does look as if the stream has been working quite well. So it looks like we might be able to do streams on Minecraft in future. So, yeah, right, I am going to leave you guys with a nice distinct view, obviously, of basically a parking lot and the future swimming pool and, whatnot. So, we've got a shopping centre over there as well. And the shopping centre itself is pretty much done. So, right, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys a bit later on. I'll see you guys hopefully at the next stream, hopefully on Thursday, where we'll hopefully be taking in some holiday vibes. We're going to be doing a coastal view. We're going to be going from Ryde Pierhead to Shanklin once again on the Isle of Wight, and obviously back as well if we do have enough time, and maybe even taking a trip hopefully from Ramsgate or something to Whitstable, obviously on the train as well. So do stay tuned. We'll be giving you some like holiday vibes, get into the holiday spirit, and I'll see you guys a bit later.